everyone. My name is Margaret Ford Fisher. Welcome to Credential Up Houston, a show that focuses on the power, the opportunity, the influence, and yes, the wealth that can come from credentialing up. The aim of this program is for the Houston Community College to be your resource and your destination location for education and training. Now, here are two fast facts. Did you know that the Houston Community College is the third largest singularly accredited community college in the country? Well, we are. We enrolled over 114,000 students last year, and over 13,000 students received degrees and awards. And did you know that the Houston Community College is listed among the top 50 colleges and universities in the country in digital learning? Well, again, we are. And we are ranked number 3 for community colleges and recognized for student persistency and time to graduation. HCC provides many options for students to credential up at the regional colleges, the Coleman College of Health Sciences, and via the online college that provides students the opportunity to complete certificates and degrees fully online and at their convenience. Well, today's theme focuses on the opportunity that Comcast will provide for students to credential up via Comcast's program called Internet Essentials. I am delighted to welcome our Comcast guests to the program who will tell you all about the opportunity. Melinda Little, Director of Governmental Affairs, and Michael Bybee, Director of Public Relations. I'd like to thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yes.
Good to be here.
Thank you very much.
We're so pleased, and of course, let you know that we also have a live studio audience joining us today, and there will be an opportunity for them to ask questions of you as well. So this is really great.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to begin with is for you to tell us just a bit about Internet Essentials, because I'm sure a lot of viewers will want to know just what is that?
Sure. About 7 years ago, we as a company wanted to further our community investment. And so we looked at different segments of the population of our communities, and we identified that there's a lot of people that don't have internet access at home. So we looked further into that and looked at the barriers as far as why people don't have internet access. And say amazingly enough, it boiled down to cost, and also people don't understand either how to use a computer and or what this World Wide Web internet is all about. So Internet Essentials is a low-cost internet service program that we have where for $9.95 a month, you can get internet service. We also offer a computer for $150 to address the cost barrier that we identified. And then the third barrier, or excuse me, the second barrier was the understanding what it is. We also offer online training from how to turn a computer on to how to access the internet. And it's been going for about 7 years, and we've kind of grown exponentially each year, adding more elements to it.
Well, you know, that's really very interesting because there is a population as well that seems to be, as some refer to them as time travelers. And so they are a little bit reluctant to approach the use of internet, instant messaging, and so forth. So I'm curious to know, how have you addressed that population? You have the training, and you have the video online that helps to provide that kind of information as well. But what kinds of responses have you gotten from the public?
Well, so it's been very positive. In fact, when we first started, we only offered Internet Essentials to children, to families who had children on the free lunch program from the National Lunch Program. And it was so successful and so positively received that we expanded it to all children on the free and reduced lunch, who have free or reduced lunch. And we have also increased our speeds as we've gone. So you have high-speed internet with this program. We have been very active in the community telling people about it because we know it's something that, besides advertising, which we do, we need to have conversations with people. They need to understand that this is available. I have been at community fairs where we have talked to families and explained to them for less than $10 a month they can have internet in their home, and literally watch children jumping up and down saying to their mother, "We can have internet, Mom, we can have internet."
Well, you know, this is so fascinating because I'm wondering as well about any liabilities, any other eligibility kinds of questions that might surface with regards to getting it. There are no liability issues associated with it at all for the partnering institutions, for example.
Not at all.
So tell us just a bit about that.
So we partner with many different institutions to share that information. Some of our main partners are the YMCA, Boys and Girls Club. We're partnering with Houston Community College now, and we will do sign-up events. And on those sign-up events, we will have a special code for you where you can do www.internetessentials/ something, and then you'll be able to go and sign up, and you won't even have to prove eligibility at that point.
Yeah, I would imagine, Mr. Bybee, that you get telephone calls, various questions on a regular basis as well, being in public relations for Comcast. So tell us about that response and how it's steadily growing.
I have a fantastic example. There was a woman about 3 or 4 years ago who came to one of our sign-up events and said, I'd like to sign up. I've heard about this. I'd like to sign up. And then fast forward about 6 months, and I ran into her again. And she says, Internet Essentials has changed my life. And I said, well, tell me more. And she goes, I'm now able to eat dinner at home with my family. And help me understand what that means. She has 2 kids in high school, full-time working single mother. After work, she would have to pick up her daughters, go to a public library so they could do their homework. They would swing through a fast food restaurant, eat dinner in the car on the way home. So she is now able, now that she has internet access, to pick up her girls, go straight home, make dinner, have dinner as a family while her daughters are able to do their homework.
This is a magnificent story. That speaks to the populations that we serve. So I tell you, we're going to take a break. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the population that we serve, the community college students, as well as all of the others that you referenced. We'll be right back.
I've seen people's lives change just by attending a class at HCC.
Some of them might not have the financial means to go to a 4-year university. That doesn't make them any less quote-unquote smart than the kids who go to a 4-year school.
HCC is easy to get to. It's easy to apply and easy to become a part of.
It gave me so much confidence.
Once you finish your 2 years there, you can transition into a 4-year university or go into the workforce.
It's affordable, it's accessible, it changes lives.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Credential Up Houston. Our guests today are from Comcast, and they're telling us about Internet Essentials. Our guests are Melinda Little, Director of Governmental Affairs, and Michael Bybee, Director of Public Relations. Thank you both so very, very much. You know, there are various groups that you have, that you serve, and that there are eligibility requirements that are associated with them. Families, housing assistance, seniors, community college students. And so I'd like for you to tell us about those populations, because the community college students, the seniors, and families obviously would cover the range of students who would be interested in taking courses at the Houston Community College.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. So when we first started this program and it became so popular, we realized that in order to be as inclusive as possible digitally, we really needed to expand it. And so our first big expansion was in 2015, where we expanded it to anyone who receives any type of housing authority aid, so any HUD assistance, whether it's Section 8 or vouchers or anything, you are eligible. And then last year in Houston, we expanded it to the Houston footprint for anyone who is 62 or older. What we've seen is, as people are adapting to the internet, seniors are the slowest population to do so. And so we were really looking for ways to bring them in.
So why do you think that's the case?
I think that if you haven't been exposed to internet, you are a little intimidated by it. And I think there are people that think you see things on the news about your information is stolen, and they think if they get on the internet, someone's going to break into their bank account or whatever. But we know that seniors especially would be excited to have opportunities to talk to their families via Skype or email or Facebook or other social media platforms. And once they get it, they really grab on.
I think it's a great point, Melinda. And I think, though, I would add personally, I think seniors, like, I've heard about this thing. Yes, there's the fear factor in it as well, but I've survived life long enough just fine without it.
Right.
But yeah, we're getting a lot of seniors that are.
And then with fixed incomes,
Sure.
the ability to be able to buy a computer is often out of bounds. But with our program, we offer a computer for $149. So suddenly, for $10 a month, less than $10 a month, and $149, you can connect.
We are serving more and more millennials, and then there's the Z, Generation Z, that's coming along as well. So obviously, they fit into the community college profile of what we are addressing. So how have you found that kind of access to be available to them, to the millennials and to the Zs that are now going to be the new populations of students?
Well, I would think that a lot of people, I don't know, we sometimes take it for granted that we're so connected. But for those next generations, I mean, how can you survive without having internet access? There's a lot of mobile devices now, and that's how you access it. But can you really do a term paper? Can you apply for a job, write a resume on your phone? No, you can't. So hence why internet access and being able to do that at home makes so much more sense.
And frankly, as you're going into the job market as a millennial, if you haven't gotten that training, you're going to be behind.
Sure.
And Comcast understands that. And so that's why we've really reached out to try to find ways that kids that are in community college can do that. And so even though just being in community college alone doesn't get you there, if you're on HUD or you live home with your family who has that, you're able to participate.
So I'm curious, why would they be behind in industry if they've not used a desktop or a laptop?
Well, if you don't know how to use Internet Explorer, you're behind. So almost everything we do now is online. I mean, I order my groceries online. I applied for my job at Comcast online. If you go to college, I know all of it, because I went to HCC and I went back later, and I know, and my sons both went here for the first 2 years. Everything that you do to apply is online. So you start that in lower school now with having to do your homework online, and then you come here, you have to apply to get online, you register for your classes online, you do your homework online.
Yeah, and you think about it, I mean, you're so behind the learning curve.
That's true.
With everyone else that has had access. It's that huge catch-up point. I mean, it's a tough place to be.
It's huge, and what we will do is to talk about this further, because we're going to ask Dr. Christina Robinson to join us in the next segment. So we'll be right back.
We have academic programs that help students get from high school into a university. And the data is very clear that students that take the path of a community college finish in far higher numbers than students that start straight into a university experience. Our students can achieve a baccalaureate degree in multiple fields from the universities in the area without ever leaving Houston Community College.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Credential Up Houston. Well, you know, the Houston Community College's Adult Education and Literacy Program has a campaign that says, "Change your life for $20." Well, we're going to talk about that campaign and Internet Essentials. Joining us on the set is Dr. Christina Robinson, who is the Executive Director of Adult Education and Literacy at the Houston Community College. Ms. Melinda Little, who is an executive with Comcast, and Mr. Michael Bybee, an executive with Comcast. So thank you all very much. Thank you. So tell us about the campaign, Dr. Robinson.
Sure. Well, change your life for $20, right? We have this amazing opportunity. Adult Education and Literacy is funded through the state of Texas, Houston Galveston Area Council, $4.2 million to put back into our community to educate individuals and take them into level 1, level 2 certificates and on into their citizenship associate programs. So we have this amazing opportunity to use all of this funding to cover the tuition, the books, the uniforms, anything you can imagine for the program. So $20 is a processing fee they'll pay to enter our program, get their testing done, and should they qualify, they have an opportunity to go through the entire program for free.
So I would imagine you have lines of students ready to get into your program.
We do have
Yes.
lines, and so get there early. When you come to one of our orientation and registration programs, you need to know it's going to take a good 4 hours to get processed, so to speak, because we do have to test you. But we tell everyone to get there early, and sometimes we'll have 200 students show up on a morning just to enter the program. But we are registering right now, so if you go onto the website, Change My Life, hccs.edu/Change My Life, they can see all of the orientation dates and times. And like I said, be prepared to stay there a little while, but what an amazing opportunity to get into Houston Community College. No tuition. We cover everything for you except the $20 fee.
That is incredible. So what is the pathway for the students who enroll?
Sure. So students that come in, we're going to test them, and we want to know what are your reading, math, social studies, science skills. Based on their level of literacy, we will then make a determination on where they go. If they score high enough on our test, they can go straight into a level 1 certificate. That could be like an electrical technician, a paralegal, really any career you can think of. If they score a little lower, what we'll do is we'll put them in what we call adult basic education, or we'll put them in our high school equivalency program, run them through that program, and as they progress, which sometimes can be as in short a time as 6 weeks, they have an opportunity to progress into a level 1, and like I said, then move on straight into our associate programs. So that's the pathway. We want to get them to us, get them going, see what's college like, how does it feel, how do I learn to hop on the internet, you know, what's Word, what's Excel, and then progress them through our program ultimately with an associate.
So where are your orientation programs held?
They are held everywhere across the Houston Community College system. So if you look at Houston Community College, we have centers of excellence all across our community. And so everywhere from Acres Homes to the Southeast campuses, Central campuses, Missouri City, you literally name it, we're going to be there.
So this is an opportunity, obviously, to partner with Comcast because you have a pretty broad service area as well. Tell us about that, because all of the viewers listening in, and of course in our viewing audience today, there are individuals who very likely would want to register. So
Sure.
they would like to know whether or not they reside in your area.
Our network goes from Conroe to Galveston, Bay Area to Katy, and then some. As Houston is growing, as are we, as is our network. So absolutely, I think it's definitely a conversation we can have to see if there's some sort of partnership, absolutely.
And we're certainly throughout the Houston Community College area. We are very well built out.
And we cover all of Harris County and Fort Bend.
Yep, and we're
so
all
I'm sure
in
that's
Harris
within
County
your
and Fort
range.
Bend, absolutely.
Okay, so as you think about that transitional pathway for the students, are you providing them with all of the information about what that looks like in terms of the progression from what is equivalent to the high school equivalency degree through to an associate's degree, and then on to a 4-year institution, and all potentially online once they enter the associate's degree program?
It's funny you should mention that. Yes, we actually have career navigators, or we call them pathway advisors, that actually will sit down with students. They have a one-on-one interview with the student and really talk about what are their goals. In addition, every student that comes into our program is required to take a 12-hour workforce prep class that really has them select that career and think about where they're going. Over the last year, we've really made a transition in adult education so that all students now have the ability to do a hybrid, both online and on campus. And that is great preparation so they can get a job and go to school. So ultimately, they can transition into a fully online certificate.
Isn't that magnificent? So is this new information that you're hearing about the Houston Community College and the pathways for students?
It's new to me.
It's new to me.
I wish it was around when I went to
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Right, yeah,
Yes.
no,
Very
it's a great
exciting.
program, absolutely.
Absolutely. And of course, you don't have a partnership now specifically for community college students, as it were. What is the likelihood that that's something that could be added?
I think it's certainly something we can explore with our corporate headquarters. However, I still believe that many of your students are already eligible in the current criteria that we have, because we have so many ways to qualify. So we should definitely keep talking, but still, I mean, I think you agree, there's probably many ways that they can already qualify.
You know, that's really interesting, because as I was reviewing all of the notes that I had taken about Comcast and Internet Essentials, there really are no barriers to qualifying, it seems to me. If you are 62 years of age and you have no debt with Comcast within the last year, you qualify.
As long as you receive some type of state, local, or federal aid.
Okay, very good.
And on the debt portion,
yes,
if you've had a debt with Comcast that is more than a year old, we will forgive it. And that's a big thing. I mean, that's a really big deal, because we don't do that in other areas.
Sure.
So, because we really want to try to make it work. And the other great thing about if you call Comcast to be an Internet Essentials, you're not calling a regular call center. You're actually calling a specialist who help you set up for Internet Essentials. They won't try to sell you other products. They will actually just help you focus on getting set up for Internet, just to build that digital divide.
And to add on that,
yes,
as Melinda shared earlier, as the we started this with free and reduced school lunch program as far as eligibility. As Melinda mentioned earlier, as the speeds have grown, so has the eligibility requirements.
Yes.
So it will continue to grow, and more people will become eligible for the program.
In fact, I can't tell you what it is, but I will tell you that later in August, you will hear a new eligibility expansion, and we're really excited about it.
So yeah, in answer to your
question,
question,
a little teaser there for you.
Available to a lot of people.
It certainly is,
Yes.
because
Sure.
when I read the list and went into your video that is online as well, I thought, my goodness, almost anyone can qualify for this. And there really is no excuse for individuals credentialing up, because they will have access to the internet connectivity to allow them to study online. And this is something that I think is really critically important, particularly for a large population that you serve. Many of them are working adults, and they cannot go to the classes on the campuses at the time that they're open, so this is going to be a benefit. So we're going to talk about that and more in just a few moments, so please stay with us. We'll be right back.
I don't know an industry today that doesn't rely on some amount of coding to run their business. Coding is the 21st century equivalent of the English language. And our particular flavor of this is the iOS Coding and Design School. And Apple's been very supportive and in fact joined with us to roll out the start of this Swift programming initiative. So it's a great opportunity to combine creativity with science and technology, contributing to this app economy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Credential Up Houston. We're talking to our guests today about Comcast's Internet Essentials and about HCC's Adult Education and Literacy Program. We are so pleased that we have studio audience guests today. And Todd Duplantis, who is the director of HCCTV, will now go to our audience and will entertain questions. Todd?
That's right, Dr. Ford Fisher. Been speaking with some members of the audience, and George here, who's a recent graduate of HCC, has a question for the folks from Comcast.
Yes, my question is, how hard is it to sign up for Internet Essentials?
Well, that is a great question, George. Actually, it's very easy to sign up, and there's several ways. You can go to our website, internetessentials.com, or you can use the 800 number, which they will provide here today. Or we have sign-up events. So if you go to our website or you call an operator with the 800 number, you will talk to someone, and they will let you figure out if you're in the right area, and you'll give them your address. They'll schedule an appointment for you to come up. You will have to prove up your eligibility, so you'll upload any information that you need, or you can mail that in. If you do not have a Social Security number, you just need to be able to provide some type of government ID that shows that who you are. If you're doing it online, you can actually take a picture of yourself with your ID and just upload it. So it's very simple. And then within a few days, they'll come out, they'll set it up for you, they'll set up your wireless router, and you will be good to go with your internet. But we also have sign-up events throughout the year at different locations, and in fact, we have one at the HCC campus at 59 and 610 on October 6th as part of an event that we're doing called Tech Pack with Houston Hispanic Forum. So that event is a partnership that we did last year. It's an opportunity for kids to come out and have hands-on STEM activities all day. So, and we partner with HCC and young engineers from other campuses to help do things like drone courses, and they have Lego builds, and they have some Minecraft, so they learn about coding. And it's a fabulous day. We had so much fun last year.
Awesome.
So if you have brothers and sisters and you're watching this that are from first through 12th grade would like to come, it's easy to sign up. You can just go to the Houston Hispanic Forum site, and we'll get you all some information here so you have information. And then also come to sign up that day if you want to. So thank you for that question, George. It was a great question.
Right now we have Justin, who's joined me with a question for Dr. Robinson with continuing education.
Yeah, when do classes begin, and how can I find out about upcoming events?
Sure. So the great thing about adult education and literacy is our classes start all the time. But right now we are doing our fall registration. So if you come anytime between now and about August 15th, you can get registered. What you'll want to make sure you do, though, is go out to the website, either the adult education page or hccs.edu/changemylife, because you'll go on and you'll select the region of your city. So if you live in the northwest side of the city or the southeast, select your specific region, and it'll give you all the specific dates for your area of the city. If you can't make it in your area of the city, you can come to any other area of the city. But more importantly, make sure you block about 4 hours of time to come so you can go through your testing, have your one-on-one interview with an advisor, and make your best selection for the career of your choice.
Well, those were great questions that were asked by George and Justin, and I really like the responses. You know, I'm real curious to know, once a resident signs up for Internet Essentials, how long does it take before they are then active and eligible to use it?
So it just depends on when we can schedule the appointment. So it would be like signing up with Comcast in for some other service. We actually send a regular technician out to do that. So you'll be given some appointment opportunities when you go on the website or when you talk to an operator. And if you do a sign-up event in person, there's people on site that will help you schedule that appointment. And it can be anywhere from 2 days to 5 days. And then they'll just come out, they'll set you up. It's, you know, not an easy button, but they'll plug you in and get you set.
So the good news is it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick. Absolutely.
And how long does it take for the laptop to come?
Yes.
So you have to fill out the information, and then they'll mail that. And I think it's 1 to 2 weeks before they'll mail that back out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So 1 to 2 weeks. And of course, that would, of course, be in time for the fall semester for your students if they're interested in signing up. So once again, the event is going to be held where, Dr. Robinson?
Sure. Well, we actually have a Career Pathways event coming up August 24th at the Acres Homes campus. So you can absolutely come out there. But as I mentioned, any time between now and August 15th, we have registration at a variety of campuses across the city. In addition, we have community business organizations also all over the city, and they are also doing registration concurrently with us. So literally, you can pretty much go to any campus over the next 3 weeks and get registered for adult education.
Well, that sounds great. And of course, you do have partnerships all over the city, and that's really great. So any final comments from Comcast on the partnership and how we move forward?
I would go back to what we had shared earlier, in that it's been really neat to be a part of this program that continues to grow. And as Melinda alluded to earlier, we're going to announce in August that it's going to grow even more. Just go to the website, learn more about the program. If you know somebody, if you personally or have a neighbor or a friend, I mean, encourage them to go to the website, call the 1-800 number, and get connected.
That sounds magnificent. This has certainly been a very, very educational program, very informative, and I thank you all very, very much. And of course, I'd like to also thank Todd Duplantis, the studio audience, HCCTV, for doing a magnificent job. And to you, our studio guest, I tell you, it is just great to have the partnership with you. So I thank you for being here today. So we have Melinda Little, who is Director of Governmental Affairs, Comcast, Michael Bybee, Director of Public Relations, Comcast, and Dr. Christina Robinson, Executive Director of Adult Education and Literacy, HCC. Thank you all. And of course, I thank all of the persons in our viewing audience as well for joining us. I would like to ask that as you think about all of the options that are available to you, don't forget to credential up.